Welcome back to The Edge, the talk show that's by women, for women, and about women. Is this kind of a manic Monday? Everybody seems a little quiet today. Wake up!
Well, it's grey outside.
So what?
It's very English outside.
Yes.
It's very English outside.
It is. I was in England, and it was like this. I mean, it was just... So are people dreary in England all the time?
No, of course we're not.
We're used to.
No, of course
we're not. I'm not dreary. We can party with the best of them.
I thought England was fun.
Yeah. It depends on where you go in England.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there are places that are dreary.
Yeah.
Very dreary.
You know something? When I was in England, there were no air conditioners in the hotel room.
No.
So you don't have air conditioners? I mean, it was my kind of place because I'm always freezing to death.
Not as a general rule, we don't have air conditioning. Don't need it.
Well, yeah, really.
It's
What's
cold
the
most
average
of
temperature?
Yeah, it's cold most of the time, so don't worry about it. In fact, I bought fleeces back when I came back in April, May, and I'm never going to wear them here.
You got that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We have Susan House with us today, and Susan is with Neat Cover and Almost Permanent Lipstick. I mean, pretty close to it.
Semi-permanent lipstick and cosmetics, long-lasting.
Yeah, and then Rick Staines. Rick is with Pro-Tect, and you're going to talk to us a little bit today about how women can be safe.
Yeah, actually I've got a thing, it's 12 things parents can do with their children.
Now that sounds even better. 12 things we can do with them before we kill them or what?
If that's your choice, yeah.
That sounds good. Well, I'm looking forward to
Not
that.
that I'd advocate doing that, but
yeah.
But yeah.
I had a pretty exciting weekend.
Where'd you go?
Got to take a private plane. Susan and I went on this trip to Tallahassee, Florida.
Yeah, we've decided that we're going to take flying lessons.
I don't want commercial anymore. I mean, that's it. I've just been spoiled rotten.
Just a small one? Or,
yes, it was very nice. What a
six-seater.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the thing about it is you had to have
so
these
you had 4 seats for your baggage and...
Well, no.
The baggage is in the nose.
Yeah, it was in the,
It's in the nose.
So you managed to take it off then.
Stop it. But it was fun. I thought it was a rather fun trip.
It was a beautiful weekend to fly.
Yeah, I mean, it was perfect.
The
Only
skies
one
were
time.
gorgeous.
We just ran into one pocket one time. But it really
brief.
wasn't that bad. I mean, not any more than when you take a commercial plane.
Oh yeah, and the landings, weren't they way so much smoother?
Wow.
I was like, whew, and you were landed.
And what was really neat were the pilots. They were just neat guys. We did kind of kid around with them a little bit, and I told them I was going to kiss the ground as soon as we landed. But I decided to wait until after we landed to tell them that, because I was afraid he might play a little game with us.
Yeah, they can
have a good sense of humor.
Show you the door.
Yeah.
Literally.
There's the door.
They can actually do some tricks and flip your stomach a little bit if
they want to, they can. I was dreading it just a little bit because we went to Puerto Rico one time and flew from Puerto Rico to St. Thomas on what I call a crop duster. And I think it was this guy's first time in flight, so I'll have to tell you I was a little nervous about it, Susan, until we got in the air.
You hit it well.
He did great.
It was a nice little plane.
Trouble is you get spoiled now.
Yes, I am. I'm very spoiled now. Now I don't want to fly commercial at all. So we're going to have to really buddy up with this guy. And
hey, I'm going to take flight lessons. I was not too sure. My husband and my brother had been taking them for some time, and I wasn't sure I wanted to fill my brain up. You know, I wasn't sure I had space for anything else. I've decided I'm going to dump something to make room.
She has it all together. The ingredients on the cosmetics that she sells right now, she has it down to a science. She knows how they were made, how they were formulated, who, what, where, when, and why. Things I would never think of asking.
Things a lot of people don't care to know.
I don't care.
Honestly,
how does it work? I mean, I don't really care how it works. I just want to know that it does.
A lot of people just want,
and it does.
Right, and that's it. A lot of people just want to know that it works, that it does what we say it will do, and that it typically will not. It is hypoallergenic, so most people with sensitive skin can use it.
Yeah, but my skin is very sensitive, and I've been using it.
And it actually improves your skin.
Yeah. We're going to have to go to a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk with Rick for a few minutes, and then we're going to kind of bounce back and forth and take turns, but come back, and we're going to talk about how not to murder your kids.
The tradition of quality brand name furniture with friendly personal hometown service is alive and well in downtown Oxford at Cotton Furniture. For over 30 years, furniture shoppers from all over East Alabama have come to trust and rely upon Cotton Furniture to help make their house a home. Because we're small, we specialize in special orders on all of the top brand names. Hometown people doing business the hometown way.
Visit our showroom in downtown Oxford and experience the difference of shopping with Cotton Furniture.
How does ERA King Real Estate find a buyer when other companies fail?
We put our money where our mouth is. $400,000 a year spent locally to find every potential buyer in East Central Alabama. We don't just take a commission. We use it to market your home on TV, radio, in the mall, on the internet. We also offer the seller security plan, which states that we will sell your house or ERA will buy it. Call or go online today for more information on this or any of our exclusive marketing programs. ERA-King.com.
Real people.
Real worship.
Real truth.
Real life.
Real hope. Real focus on serving a real God. Mount Zion Baptist Church, alive in Christ.
Cool pants. Hot tops. Great shoes. Neat phones. Computers, gadgets, and more. Find something fun for everyone in the family this fall at Quintard Mall. Quintard Mall. Real shopping, real easy. I-20 exit 185 Oxford. Quintard Mall gift cards are the perfect gift to give and to receive. Everyone loves a Quintard Mall gift card. Purchase a gift card today from the mall's guest services desk.
Welcome back to The Edge, the talk show that's by women, for women, and about women. And we have Rick Staines here with us today with Pro-Tect and 12 things parents can do.
That's right.
Based on what?
Just based on, behaviour, children's behaviour, your behaviour, things to make the house safer. Number one, most people, I say most people, majority of people do have firearms. It's recognising that you have firearms in the house, making sure that they're safe. And not only making sure that they're safe, but make sure that there is not an ignorance towards them.
Yeah.
There's some level of education. I'd rather, the ignorance isn't an argument and it's not a defence. I'd rather have people who know what they do and what they are than...
Is it that when most accidents happen?
Yeah, because
they don't know what they're doing?
Because kids are inquisitive. They don't know the difference between, is it a toy, is it loaded? Because they've not been shown. So the first thing they do, they know that there's a trigger and they'll pull the trigger. And that's, normally when it happens, this is a problem. Now my son, when he was in England, he was playing around with a toy gun. I actually gave him a firearms lesson with a toy gun, just that he knew what the difference was between, even though it was a toy, what a real gun can do. Give him demonstration, made him watch the beginning of a film and said, this is what it does when you point it at somebody and pull the trigger. And he's fine with that. The next day he was cleaning it with a cotton bud.
Oh, cool.
My ex-wife said to him, what are you doing? He goes, I'm doing what Daddy does. So, it's
just general maintenance.
Yeah,
and that kind of thing.
it's reinforcing. You're reinforcing the positives rather than trying to hide things away.
Yeah.
Because if people do, and normally children, if they find something, they do want to have a look and play around with it. So just show them what it is and what it does and what it can do. Take an active role in your kids' schooling. It's not enough when they come home just say, what did you do at school? And they tell you and you go, okay. Try and be a bit more interested in, have some input, have a long discussion, an in-depth discussion about what they've done, what problems, what issues have come up at school. And
really be listening too when you're talking to the kids.
Yeah, listen to the kids, because that's the problem. It's half the time you don't want to, it's just like, I ain't got enough time, I want to watch this, I want to do that. Act as a role model. and this is probably one of the biggest ones, is that we are such a big influence on our children that we don't realise that they literally mirror us and they copy us. There is and I don't want to denigrate the UK in any way, but it seems to be this, your children can't do anything wrong. And this is what I've seen is, you get mothers and fathers who will protect their children, even though when they know they're wrong. And they'll argue the fact that, little Johnny doesn't do things like that. Well, little Johnny does do things like that, he just does it when you don't see him. When people tell you about it, you don't want to admit that he's really copying you, because the parents are what he's learnt from.
Well, I'll have to tell you, my parents weren't that way at all. And my parents would always know about anything I did before I got home. So they would be waiting on me.
Yeah, my
it
mum
was
was
kind of
like
an
that.
incentive not to do it anymore.
My mum would actually trick me. She would actually make up little stories that one of her friends had seen me doing something, and you
tell all.
you then have to balance in your own head whether it was a fact or whether she was playing with your mind. And most of the time she was playing with your mind, and you'd give up. And then the mind game started getting really good when I got good at it. But she was very, very smart at getting things out of me, even though I'm like, how did she know that? Oh God, how did she know that?
She was psychic.
Well,
She was
I mean,
psychic.
what do you
But
teach
know,
your
they did it.
children?
They published on the news a recent study that they took kids into a role play situation with household objects and took them and acted like they were going shopping, and a very high percentage of the children, like over 50 into the 80%, bought alcohol and cigarettes. And when they went back and showed the tapes to the parents, they were modeling the parents' behavior, and they could, even a 3-year-old could buy the brand of cigarette that their parents smoked.
I think the
That's
trouble
pretty
is
scary.
we don't realise how receptive children are, and they're like sponges. They soak everything up. I can remember the first time my son was sitting in one of the trolleys in a supermarket, and just started swearing.
Oh no!
Just started swearing, and my ex-wife was trying to stop him, and because the more she tried to stop him, the worse he got, and the louder he got. And this word just stuck in his head.
And why is it? I mean, it will be that one word that'll stick in their head. You have to really be careful what you do and say around
So
them.
you have to, you set
And not lose your temper and say things you shouldn't say.
Yeah, that's right, because everything you say and do, they're watching and they're learning, because that's how they learn, by watching their peers. Unfortunately, you don't have the control when they go to school, so you have to do it while they're at home. Try and get a good base there when they're young. But more people need to work these days, so that's disappearing as well, because children are going to daycare a lot earlier than they used to.
And it's almost like kindergarten used to be years ago.
Yeah, set clear limits on the behaviour that you'll tolerate. Tell them when things are wrong. Tell them when things are right. And get that balance.
Yeah, I don't think you should
That
always
means
pound
not
on
counting,
negative.
right? That means setting clear limits means that takes out the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
The counting. That drives me crazy.
I used to do that, and it seemed like it always worked though. When he would, I would say, okay, 1, 2, 3, and he would stop in his tracks.
Yeah, because he knew 3 was the moment, but if you hadn't counted, he would have stopped at the first cue.
No,
So what
You
is your
trained him to be on 3.
Yeah. See, it's like corporal punishment, or smacking children. We can get into a big debate about it. I dated a girl in Birmingham, and her little boy was a little bit ripe at times, and I said, what we're going to do, we're going to do an experiment now. And we went out and we took him shopping to Walmart, and we bought a spatula. And he said, what's that for? I said, that's your spanking stick. He was like, you won't do that. I'm not going to do it, but your mum's going to do it. Because I couldn't, because So when we got home, he wanted to see if he was going to push this. So he started, and I said to her, right, we'll put it. We hung it up. I said, now you can, whatever rules you are. I said, but when you tell him that comes off the wall, it doesn't go back on unless you hit him with it. The first time. So he pushed it. She gave him 3, and on that third one, that came off, and went bang right across the back of his legs. Got sent to his bedroom. Next time he started, she literally just pulled it off the wall.
Yeah, extinguish the behavior.
So you only have to do it once if you do it good. And he was under control, but that had to be stopped.
I see people walking up and down the aisle all the time with their children, and they're always threatening. It's like, I'm going to whip you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And the kids just look up at them like, sure you are.
Yeah. And of course,
and they continue on what they're doing.
Dare you.
Yeah, and the kids are real savvy these days as well, because they understand that there are now limits that the parents have.
Yeah.
that they
Yeah,
can't cross.
and they know they're in public, and they're like, I've been in public and heard a parent say, I don't care if I get taken to jail, I will take you out in the middle of all of these people and show you that I can.
Wow. You'll be amazed at what you can hear in the mall.
But you know, that's a powerful statement to a kid who's pushing limits in public.
But then if you do all these threats and never do anything that you say you're going to do, they just take it as a threat.
Well, and again, that goes on to later life with the politics. You know, you can threaten and threaten and threaten, but if you don't anything, they just look at you and say, well, you just keep threatening, and you're not doing anything. So, you know, sometimes you have to step up to the plate and do it.
Well, apparently it was the way I was raised. One look is all it took with me.
Right.
My parents had this look, and it was just, you know, but the kids nowadays, they'll just, not all kids, but some of them will just look.
See,
Right.
It's my voice that does it. You know, my kids know my voice.
So what do you do? You get louder?
I'm very softly spoken as it is anyway. But then when I raise my voice,
They know.
Yeah, they know. That's it.
See, my dad was the opposite of that. He never raised his voice, and you knew that he was on the border of breaking when he had soft-spoken like you, but he would drop it even a notch lower.
Right.
And when he dropped it a notch lower, and you could hear a pin drop, that's when you absolutely knew the inner explosion was about to happen.
I think kids expect discipline. I don't think they want to have their way on everything.
I think they need it as well. They do need it. You watch any of these the super nanny programs? They need structure. They need structure and discipline.
They need to know what the boundaries are. That's comfort.
Yeah, you do. You just need that. It's like, I mean, my father was a beater. I mean, he beat my mum and he beat me. You know, and you grow up wondering whether this is right, and you know, I mean, I probably instinctively knew that it was wrong. I can remember at 12 he came home and I jokingly put my hands up like that and he punched me straight in the face. This is my father.
Oh, wow.
You know, and you go like, what's this for? So that actually had the opposite.
Why do you think some people do that? Why do you think they beat their kids like that?
Sometimes I think it's more of a power trip for them. I mean, you know, you have control, but
maybe they've had a bad day at work and feel a little powerless and come home and they can be powerful.
You know, why would you want to do that to your offspring, to the ones that you love? You know, I could never understand it, and I never wanted to be like that. You know, and even now I don't talk to my dad.
Can I say something about proper etiquette at church? I've been in church before, and somebody would just pop their kid in church, and it would just echo. There is really no point. If you take care of the kids at home, you won't have to do that in church. I've seen that happen.
Okay.
When you said they popped them in church, does that mean they struck them in church?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen people do that in church.
Okay.
But you know something, my parents never had to do that because
What church did you go to?
I knew
That'd be
what.
fun.
Not the church I'm going to
I
now.
was say that Sunday morning.
Not the church I'm
entertainment.
going to now, but it, you know, when I was growing up, you would hear people would just do that, and my parents would just look, and I didn't have to be popped.
One that's very prevalent at the moment is with the shooting that went on with the parents being shot by the boyfriend.
Yes.
Yes.
Is insist on knowing your children's friends.
Yes, definitely. Most people don't even know who their kids hang out with.
No, know who they. You know, even now with my stepson living at home, 22-year-old, he's allowed one friend that can come around. That's it.
Well, as long as he's in the household, you need to have rules still.
Yeah, and there are reasons why from previous behaviour that I won't go into, but he has one friend around. That's it. And we're quite worried because obviously when we go away at Christmas, I've told him, I said, if you can beat the cameras, then good luck to you.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Good luck to you.
And they're intermittently triggered.
And we can watch them from Paris.
Right.
So we, you know, I've already sowed the seed of like looking around thinking, where are they? But yeah, knowing who your children's friends are, knowing where they are, even if you make contact with the parents of the child, so that you've got like this little community group, so that you know that parents have an information network as just rather than relying on the children. Saying, well, I'm going around to Samantha's, and they're not in Samantha's, they're at some wild party somewhere.
Or the ones who drop them off at the movies. and assume that they're going to stay at the movies.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what? They're not.
I'm going
This
to
is the
movies,
real world.
watching the parents drop their kids off, and then watching the kids. I watch them for about 5 minutes, and somebody else drives up, picks them up, they're gone.
They're
And I'm
gone.
like, whoa.
We had this problem at the mall where parents would drop off the children, and then there would be a prearranged time, and the parent would come in and the child's nowhere to be seen, and then they come up to security and they're like, where's little Johnny? And you go like, well, did you not arrange to meet him? So you end up getting everybody in security and housekeeping to try and find this, and they're not even in the mall, they're over at
They're nowhere.
Who
They're not
knows
even
where.
on the property.
at CC's Pizza having pizza with their friends. You know, this description they give you is completely wrong as well. You know, they tell you a petite little blonde, and it ends up being like this stuffing pizza down. And when she got on the side of the car, literally, I was watching on the camera along the side of the car, literally went like that. Like, we'd have never found her on the description, but you do, and people just don't know. And then one guy, he came, asked us for his son. We said, well, we don't know where he is. So we had a hunt round. Then what happened is there'd been no communication. The son had actually called home, and they hadn't called him to let him know that the son was with a friend and gone to a house. He wasn't at the mall.
Surprise, surprise.
So
Do you suggest parents go to school and maybe talk with the teachers and the principal about who their kids are hanging out
yeah,
with?
that's another one. You know, the parents in the neighbourhood and the school, so that you have this network, so that the information can be passed around. No, it's not about spying or being secretive. It's just knowing where your children are, because they're important to everybody. You don't have children just say, okay, well, we've had children now, off you go, we'll get on with my life. They're part of you. They're very important. So we need to take care of them, and the only way we can take care of them is to have information and communication.
And who they hang out with, because that can make all the difference in the world. Kids are easily influenced by other kids, and they all want to be accepted into a group.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's a bad group sometimes.
Yeah, and there are critical ages where obviously parental input is very important.
And peer pressure's tough.
And it's getting younger and younger and younger.
It is very, very tough.
And they need to know if for no other reason, if your friends need a reason why you're not doing this, tell them because you're scared to death of me. You're scared to death of me as your parent, of what I will do if I catch you doing it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, use me as a big bad wolf. I don't care, because if you don't feel comfortable saying that you stand behind the choice, say my parents do, and be clear.
My daughter is she'll be 19 in January, and she has. When I was first over here, there was pictures on the wall of me and what I do, and all the boys. I never met one that wasn't scared. They'd be like little mice just sitting in the corner. We're scared. I'm like, why? I'm a nice guy. They'd be like, yeah, but what do you do? Look at all that stuff. I said, well, that's not important.
It's kind of a good thing.
I said, well, it was a nice control, because I was also very friendly with them. Not loud, just very calm with them. One guy said something. He was, I really like your daughter. And I said, I'll give you a tip. And I leant over very quietly and just said, if you
And you're cleaning your gun at the same time.
you ever do anything to her, and it'll be the biggest mistake you ever. I was like, don't worry, I won't. And so far it's been good. But it's funny. It's funny how kids are.
Well, let me tell you what my dad used to do. Before a guy could pick me up, my dad would beat me downstairs to open up the door. He would greet the guy. Well, you know what I mean. English, Southern English, okay? In some ways, he probably should have.
Okay, I know he didn't.
But he would always greet the guy at the door before I could run downstairs. And it was always a race. I would try to race him to the door. And I don't know, it kind of put a little fear into the guy. And at that time, I didn't think that was a good idea. Of course, I was the teenage daughter. But I can kind of see that working. That way the guy knows that the dad cares.
There's always
That's a form of respect.
Sure.
Yeah, with all the work I've ever done, the first thing people always say to me is, well, I thought you'd be bigger in size. You don't have to be like a big guy to do close protection or door work. What it does is, the other thing, people go, why do you do this? And then they're looking at you in a different way. Is the fact that, well, because you're not as big, because you're average size, So you get all these kids looking at you going like, I wonder why. There must be something about him, and it's that underlying fear, that unknown fear, that actually is their fear, because it's the fear of the unknown. They don't know. Exactly.
We're going to have to go to a break, I believe, real quick. And we're going to talk a little bit more about 12 things parents can do. And then we're going to talk with Susan a little bit about knee cover.
I'm in the Colonel's Army and I'm proud to be right wing, left wing, it tastes the same to me. Honk if you're hungry, the bucket stops here. Ain't afraid to be chicken, just so we're clear. I only break for chicken and I break quick. You know I march to the beat of my own drumstick. Bucket the system, it's fried with pride. There'll be one less man at the salad bar tonight. Getting hungry? Well, that's okay. You're in Chicken Capital, USA.
Anniston Orthopedics, the premier orthopedic group in Calhoun and surrounding counties for over 35 years, located in the RMC Tyler Center. The Orthopedic Center of Excellence houses offices, casting and MRI services, physical therapy, and the Wound Care Center all under one roof. With 8 board-certified surgeons, they can diagnose and treat all sports injuries, workers' comp claims, and perform minimal invasive surgery for hip and knee joints. Anniston Orthopedic Associates, serving all 3 major hospitals in the area. Call today for your appointment.
Whether you're just starting out, adding to your family, taking a step up, or scaling down at retirement, Coldwell Banker Realty is committed to finding the right home for you. Visit our office at 1506 Layton Avenue and meet one of our fine professionals who will assist you in locating that property suited just for your situation. So give us a call at 237-7777. Coldwell Banker Realty, your perfect partner in real estate.
17 years ago when we chose to start coming to Antioch. We had young children, and it was a local church, and we just wanted a place for our family, looking for a place for our family to fit in is the reason we started coming. What I enjoy about Antioch is, of course, the music, and the preaching, and the people, and Sunday school. I enjoy Sunday school and the fellowship that comes with just being around others, and it's just a great place to come. I would describe Antioch as a loving church.
NHC Place of Anniston, located on a beautifully landscaped campus, features many services for older adults, including assisted living and an Alzheimer's specialty care unit. We deliver service according to your needs. At NHC Place, you can depend on enhanced comfort, the convenience of home, and the best in security. Take a nap. Take a walk. Take your time. Enjoy peace of mind at NHC Place Assisted Living of Anniston.
When you're on the go, it's good to know there's a Young Oil Company Grub Mart nearby. Whether you need a fill-up, a snack, or something cold to drink, you'll find it all at your local Grub Mart. Clean stores, friendly service, and pay at the pump. It's all waiting for you at your home-owned and operated Grub Mart. For quality gasoline and the best of convenience, visit the nearest Young Oil Company Grub Mart. There's a Grub Mart near you.
Welcome back to The Edge, the talk show that's by women, for women, and about women, and lots of really neat guys that we have on the show all the time. And we've been talking about the 12 things parents can do. Discipline is one of them.
Another thing is to communicate clearly about violence issues. You know, what's tolerated, what's not tolerated, what is violence and what isn't violence. Mm-hmm. You know, because there are different versions of violence, whether it be physical, whether it be mental violence, or whether, verbal, and openly discuss issues with the kids, because something that's small that can be cleared up now is they're not allowed to fester and just grow into something that could be potentially huge and dangerous. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes things can just start out as a real small misunderstanding and then just blossom into something huge. But I have a question about discipline with kids and knowing what they're doing. How can a kid actually be building a bomb in their room and you not know about it? Because my take on this has always been, hey, unless you're renting part of the house, well then I'm going to go into your room periodically and I'm going to see what you have hidden.
Yeah, I mean it's difficult because everybody wants their little piece of privacy, but privacy,
if you're renting a place.
Exactly. I mean, but you know, there could be questions of, I mean, it's like my stepson spends a lot of time in his bedroom. That's because he's got his internet up there, he's talking to his, his buddies and everything, and he's got his own TV, and that's fine. But if there were like strange noises or smells, because all these things, if you're making stuff like that, there's going to be strange smells.
I would
and
think.
There's going to be noises. Yeah. There's going to be some experimentation, like a boom, occasionally.
Occasionally,
that you'd want to ask about. What are you doing up there? Especially if they're bringing in,
fertilizer
and items.
There's probably a problem.
Or if they're raiding medicine cabinets or kitchen cabinets, because you even with proprietary stuff, you can go down there and you can make stuff.
Yeah.
Just what you've got in the kitchen. So you just have to be observant. And again, that's something people, they just turn off. It's like, he's not bothering me, so I won't bother him or her. So.
Well, and boundaries are appropriate. It's appropriate for you to respect certain parts of your children's boundaries and their space, but it's also appropriate to say, okay, now I'm concerned about this, and you can either ante up at the table, or we can go bit by bit through your room, piece by piece, with you present. I worked in child adolescent psych, and we had to maintain a safe environment, obviously, for many reasons. But we never, when we had to search rooms, we never did it without the child present. And
aren't you being a little too politically correct when you do that? In most cases.
Well, I think it's a form of respect. Now, if they're totally, out of hand and they're, it depends on the behavior, of course. But honestly, I believe that is a personal boundary that you should do it.
Because right now we're almost to the point. Right now we're almost to the point that, may I have your permission to correct you? I mean, we're almost to that point.
Well, no, I'm taking a step back from there. I'm saying I'm in charge, but out of respect for you, I will allow you to tell me.
And also, with regards to doing something with them present, there's two ways of looking at that. The way I would look at it, a positive way, is that there would always be two people present anyway. It's like when we used to, when I was talking the other week about searching bags, is you always have the passenger standing in front of you. You have one person who is watching them, and have other person searching the bag.
Exactly.
Okay, because what's going to happen is that person whose bag or room's being searched is going to give telltale signs when you're getting very close to something they don't want you to find.
They'll start getting fidgety, and
because the body is not going to lie. They can.
The body language.
Body language doesn't lie. They'll sweat, pupils dilate, they'll do all the things. They'll get nervous. They'll start, getting really fidgety. That's an indication that you're getting very close. That person who's watching them is going to give you a signal or indication that you're very close. So you can concentrate your efforts on that area then.
So if you're a single parent, you need to have another parent that you're close enough to that you can call and say, come over and help.
Well, guys, we're going to have to go to a break. Give us your telephone number and your website, because you have lots of points we didn't get to cover.
Yeah, I'm going to put these on my website. My website is www.protect, that's PRO-TECT worldwide.com.
Okay.
And my telephone number is 256, I always get this messed up, 283-3187.
Well, thanks for being on the show, and we'll look forward to next week with some more points.
No problem.
But we'll be right back after this message.
Ron's Barbecue, located just off the intersection of Highways 144 and 431, is the perfect place for you to enjoy delicious food with all your friends and family. Enjoy our favorites like hamburgers, wings, homemade onion rings, barbecue plates with tasty sides like baked beans and potato salad, and the famous peanut butter cake. Join us for ribs on Friday and Saturday after 4 o'clock, and all-you-can-eat catfish on Thursday. Ron's is open from 10 till 8 on Tuesday and Wednesday, and from 10 till 9 on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Ron's Barbecue, the neighborhood gathering spot for food and fun.
Wright's Dairy, Alabama's only dairy farm where the cows are milked and the milk is bottled and sold right on the farm. Located on Highway 431 North in Alexandria. We're open Monday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 8 to 5. We have white milk, chocolate milk, butter, cheeses, and over 20 flavors of ice cream. Visit the store any day around 4 and see the cows being milked next door. Wright's Dairy, where the cream still rises to the top.
where is this fun place? The Victoria in Anniston.
The quality and tradition of fine garment care is demonstrated every day at Stewart's Cleaners. You see, we know that when you look good, we shine. Every day, the tradition, the care, and expert handling of your apparel continues at Stewart's Cleaners. Stewart's Cleaning professionals diligently go about their task so that you can look your best. So walk in or drive through. The Stewart's Cleaning professionals are waiting for you. Since 1914, the tradition continues. Stewart's in Anniston and in Jacksonville.
Welcome back to The Edge, the talk show that's by women, for women, and about women. We have with us Susan House with Neat Cover. Susan, tell us about what you have today.
Well, I went and met the president, founder, and CEO, Joni Conte, of House-Senegence International, and she was fascinating. And she, you know, we've talked about the skincare products, and our motto is we have skincare that works, but we also have a career that works. And I've read the books, I've looked at the information, but I never quite got it until she explained. And most direct marketing programs are built so that they're built like this, so that you have to have a lot of people under you to make any profits, because truly we as individuals, we only, I have a maximum of 12 to 16 hours that I can produce work in a day. So I'm a finite resource. So the only way that I can truly expand my income making base is to have other people doing what I'm doing if I teach them.
Well, Joni has a different take on this, totally different from what I've seen before. Right.
She believes that instead of your first line being small, she turns it upside down, and your first line is big. And she pays 10% on everyone that you train to promote the product.
That's really neat, because you're giving that person a little more attention than you would be otherwise.
Right, because many direct marketing companies sign you up, tell you need to buy X amount of inventory, and then they're gone.
Good luck.
Hello, where are they? When you need somebody, they don't teach you about the product, and they don't teach you how to make the business work. She not only is very invested in each of the products being what they say they are and doing what they say they do, she's very invested in my learning and then my teaching the next person down.
She's really focused on training.
Very, because the fact is, we don't come into this world knowing how to do this. We need to learn, and there is a way to do it correctly. You can put your twist on it, but there's certain given things. So that was very inspiring, to be around the person who came up with flipping the chart and giving the profits to you up front while you're training people, rather than saying you have to get down here and have 100 people selling 100 million amount of products.
Well, guess
before
what?
you make anything.
I mean, the real world is not going to be exactly like it is on a piece of paper. So that's really hard to accomplish. But the way she has put this plan together, I think it works.
It does. It gives you the best opportunity. And, I also did not know, even though I kept hearing 100% money back guarantee, and I'm promoting that to any of my customers. If you don't like it, it's 100% money back guarantee. I actually heard out of her mouth, if you as a distributor decide that you don't want to do this anymore, that if the world comes crashing down, or for whatever reason you decide this is not your bag, box it up and send it back to us, and we'll buy it back from you. Who else does that?
Well, she's very confident about the product, for one thing, and she's also very confident about how they train you.
Yes, and it's easy. I mean, it's a system, and it works, and it's not rocket science. Anybody can do it that decides that they're going to have a business mindset about what they do.
Well, we've joked around a little bit about how you're into the ingredients end of this whole thing, and I'm into the marketing end. But I was fascinated about some of the things they use. Volcanic ash.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that. That was really neat. And I can understand how it works.
Yeah, well, you've used the product, so you do understand. Many of the botanical and other ingredients that go into the products consistently come from the islands in Vanuatu. And volcanic ash, they actually load it up in bags like you think coffee beans and bring it over. And these are naturally reoccurring products, so we're not taking anything out of the environment that's not being put back. But they pulverize it to different levels.
Now, this volcanic ash is different from any other volcanic ash. In other words, Hawaii, I've been there. We got off the plane, and all you could see was black.
Correct.
So how is this ash different from the ash from this mountain?
Well, I don't know if it's different universally. I do know that Yorm Fishman went all over the world studying, and when he found the flora and fauna, the plant life that were surviving in this environment at the base of this volcano, he was amazed that they could do this, and he studied all the ingredients. He took back vials and went back to his lab, and he studied all the ingredients. And House-Senegence is a synergistic formula, and it's made, but the name comes from synergy and senescence. Senescence is the act of aging. So you've got the two words together, and intelligence. And so the anti-aging properties, that's what the idea he wanted to get across was, we are anti-aging properties, and it is intelligent anti-aging. We are doing this with plant botanicals, orchid extracts, algae, and helping the skin slough with volcanic ash pulverized in different levels.
Tell us a little bit about his background.
He has, I'm guessing, but over 30 years experience in cosmetic chemistry. And he's done many products for many other companies. Paul Mitchell is one that people pretty quickly recognize. I don't know the names of all the other companies that he's made products for, but when he came up with this formulation, and this was because Joni was driving him. He initially came up with a lip product that we've talked about a good bit, and it is out of the technology that he developed because in Hollywood they were wanting semi-permanent tattoos for movies and so forth, and the lip technology was brought out of that. But after that, Joni said, I want skincare. And she told him exactly what she wanted. She'd been all over the world and she couldn't find it, and I want something different. And he developed the Cineplex Complex after they returned to Vanuatu and continued to study, and he kept testing and testing and testing. So his knowledge is on a basic chemical level, and yet...
So it starts with the pigment first.
Yes.
And then you go into a gloss. Because I have it on right now, and I want you to look at this.
The lip technology begins with a pigment.
Does not come off on your finger.
No, doesn't come off on anything. Doesn't come off on your clothes, doesn't come off. Because it is a pigment that is suspended in SD alcohol, cosmetic grade alcohol, only for the purpose of having it suspended. You've got to have it in something. And because it dries fast, so you can layer it on. But that's all it is, it's pigment. And then the treatment or the gloss that goes over it is shea butter and silicone. And it penetrates the pigment.
It does, definitely, because my lips, and the first time you applied it, just happened to be live on the show, so there is a little bit of a sting to it.
There is a sting, and if you remember...
Now explain to us why you get the sting.
Well, they're from years of using wax-based, paraffin-based lip products. Your lips have micro fissures and tears that you cannot see, that you are otherwise unaware of. And this is one reason why women's lips age faster than men's, because we are applying things to our lips that are actually building up and with the keratin in the skin cells and causing microfissures and cracks, which equal wrinkles if they're not treated.
And one thing I've noticed too is you exfoliate your face, but you never go with the lips. So is that one reason why you get the tears into the skin?
Well, it is, but it's also because the wax and the paraffins build up on your lips. They actually bind with the keratin and form a hard layer, and it's damaging because the skin, it prevents the skin from exfoliating and coming off. And when you first used the product and I first put it on you, you had pieces of your lip that were literally coming off in chunks. And that will happen. A lot of people think when they first start using the product in the first 7 to 10 days, they'll see little pieces of color that'll still be on their cup or come off on a napkin or something. They'll say, oh, it's not working like you said. Well, no, it is working. What's happening is the stuff you've put on your lips for all those years has to come off. So this process of using this pigment and shea butter begins to heal your lips, but that other stuff has got to come off. I didn't believe it. I thought it sounded hokey, but after a month of using it and not using any other lip color, because you know, every time you put something else on, you're right back there. Right. You're damaging again. So after a month's time, when I take my makeup off at night, my lips feel like a baby's butt. I mean, they feel different.
Well, mine do. They feel so soft.
They feel different than they did.
Before I started using lipstick, you would feel just little pieces.
Yeah, and it would dry, and there would be whole chunks come off.
It just doesn't come off.
And I must remind you that our lip product is our least performing product in our product line. So if you're impressed with the lip product, you'll be blown away by everything else. And I thought it was interesting too that Joni told you when you ask about, can I use this product in conjunction with other products? She was so cool. She said you can, but after about a month you won't need to. And I just thought, well, how appropriate. Because, you know, I don't want to take anybody away from their other products, but give this a try.
Well, you're going to be at the mall, do it today.
Sure.
And do some free lipstick so people can just kind of try it out. And you'll have little testers and things there. So we're going to have to go to a really quick break and then we'll be back with Mel Bash.
Do you worry about your loved ones when they are not there? Let Signature In-Home Care help you stop worrying and improve the quality of life for your loved ones. We provide affordable in-home assisted living services and companionship for maturing adults. Call today for a free in-home assessment and tips to help your family remain safe and well cared for in the comfort of their home. Signature In-Home Care. Professional, affordable care.
Here's Dr. Ron Adderholt on the importance of experience.
I had a little girl in the office the other day, and I realized from looking at her mother's chart that her mother was one of my first patients 21 years ago. That means I'm getting older. That means that I'm getting a lot more experienced. And it also means that her mother had enough confidence in us that after 21 years to bring her daughter in here and let us take care of her. And that's the best part of this job.
Where do you go? What do you say? Come on down here today. Who needs all the yelling and screaming? At Nissan of Gadsden, we believe in friendly, honest service and quality product. At Nissan of Gadsden, we have a wide selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Nissan of Gadsden is proud to support the community.
Nissan of Gadsden supports Gadsden City Titans!
For quality, service, and honesty. Nissan of Gadsden. Believe me, we've got your Nissan.
More Printing, Anniston's #1 copy shop, with over 6 million copies in the last 3 years. More Printing features new 4-color printing at great prices. 500 full-color business cards with photos for only $49.95 plus setup. Color copies as low as 39 cents each, and black and white as low as 4 cents each. For locally owned, personal service, call More Printing, rated Calhoun County's #1 service printer. Remember, for pickup and delivery, Call More Printing today.
Welcome back to The Edge, the talk show that's by women, for women, and about women, and lots of really neat guys. We have a recipe we want to tell you about today. It's really easy. It's called Cheerio cookies. Extremely easy to make. What you do is combine the first 4 ingredients, and that's 1 6-ounce package of chocolate chips, 1/4 cup of light syrup, like Karo syrup type stuff, 1 1/4 cup butter, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I put that in the microwave for about a minute, and then I added the nuts and the Cheerios. All you want to do is melt the chocolate. Don't cook it, and be really careful not to burn it if you fix it on the stove top. Mix really well, drop by teaspoons on a buttered wax paper, and then chill, and this is what they turn out. They're really neat. Real easy.
They smell wonderful.
Really easy recipe to make. And this is a real neat recipe for the kids to make after school, after discipline.
So they're Cheerios heart healthy?
Yes, they are.
Mm-hmm. And do you know that you can make, there's a way that you can make corn syrup with Splenda?
How's
that you can
that?
cook with it. Well, I don't have the recipe off the top of my head, but you can
We'll do that next Monday when you come back.
All right, I'll get it for you.
Now, Mel Bash. Okay, we have one that's rather lengthy, so I only did 2 today. If you'd like to go ahead and read the first one, and then would you like the second one?
Okay.
Someone sent an email Friday about customer service. They were absolutely right. Christmas season is here, and if you don't treat customers like they are somebody, they will go elsewhere. Everybody gets busy during the holidays, but rudeness should not be something you have to put up with when you are helping someone's business by buying their product. I do, as Donna says, she does. If a salesperson is rude, I don't mind spending more with someone who is pleasant to deal with. Imagine that.
Sometimes people are just, like a salesperson is just rude because they've had a bad day, but really it's no excuse. You should be good to your customers.
Well, you know, that you have to learn that if 6 hours or 12 hours is too long for you to be there and be nice, maybe you don't need to be there that long.
Yeah. Well put.
Yeah.
Now, I'm nice to all of my customers. Quit laughing at me.
Hey, I used to be nice to my customers, and I could.
Yeah, you chewed them.
No. I worked in a shop many years ago, and an old couple came in and they wanted this certain cut of meat, but they wanted a fresh cut. And the only one that my boss wanted to give them was the one in the window that was blacker than night, which would have been very nice.
Yeah, which was aged.
It was going to be very, very nice, but
which was aged and would have been tender.
They wanted this new cut, and I said, well, and in the end, he came on, was very abusive to them, and said, look, have that or go away.
Oh, wow.
And then turned around to me and said, if I ever catch you saying that to anybody, I'll fire you.
Right. Don't do as I do.
So again, not a good role model.
Yeah, sounds like he's not leading by example at all, is he?
No.
Now, this is a real neat email that came in, too, and this person sent in 11 sayings that could get you fired as a salesperson.
Okay. I thought you might like this. 11 sayings that will get you fired if you're a salesperson. 1. How about never? Is never good for you? 2.
Sorry.
I see you set aside a special time to humiliate yourself in public. 3. I'll try being nicer if you try being smarter.
Whoa.
4. I don't work here, I'm a consultant. That's a good one for me, actually.
Yeah.
It sounds like English, but I can't understand a word you're saying.
It would be. So, Rick would have to be the one to say that one.
I like you. You remind me of when I was young and stupid.
That might get you fired.
That might.
Yeah.
7. I'm already visualising the duck take over your mouth. Number 8. Do I look like a people person?
Probably not if you have to say that.
Number 9. If I throw a stick, will you leave?
Now, these are things not to say to your customers, okay?
Number 10. Nice perfume, you must marinate in it. And number 11, I thought I wanted a career, it turns out I just wanted paychecks.
That is absolutely true in some cases. I can't imagine people really say these things, but anyway, these are things that actually, if you do say these, you will get fired.
Yeah, I like some of those.
Yeah, you like them?
Yeah, I like number 5. It sounds like English, but I can't stand a word you're saying.
Yeah, you would like that. We come to you on that one a lot. You said what?
Yeah, even my wife does that. What?
Now, where's your wife from?
Tennessee. Need we say any more? Sorry.
She's a sweetheart. Yeah, you're going to get shot when you get home.
Slap when I get home.
We really like you, okay? I mean, she's really a sweet lady if you've ever met her. And she kind of surprises you sometimes, though. She may just kind of walk up and you don't know she's there.
Yeah.
Is this what you've trained her to do?
No.
What part of Tennessee has got all kinds of terrain? What part of Tennessee?
She was actually born in Memphis.
The Low Country.
But she was raised 26 miles over the border from Alabama. So she was actually in Loretto, Lawrenceburg area. So just above Florence.
Yeah,
just barely in the hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she doesn't sound like it. And she's traveled quite a bit, too.
Yeah, she spent 11 years on Johnston Atoll in the South Pacific and 4 years on Hawaii.
Really?
What a terrible job, but somebody had to do it, right?
Yeah. And yeah, so she's travelled. Then she came to Alabama, and that's where we met. On the internet.
How strange. On the internet.
Well, she finally arrived in God's country.
Yeah. So meeting somebody on the internet happened to be successful for you, but I've heard a lot of times it's not.
No, you have to be very careful. You have to be very, very careful. And that's another...
That could be another show.
That's another show we could do.
That's another whole week.
But I can't give away too many of my secrets. No, you have to be very, very careful with what you do, especially if obviously again goes back to the kids and what they're doing. To monitor them and how they are and who they're talking to.
Yeah.
Because everybody pretends.
I was going to say, who's really going to send a picture of themselves?
Yeah, everybody pretends, and there are some real weirdos out there. I've spoken to a few of them, and they're like, "You're not of this planet," and you'd be surprised at the jobs they do. I spoke to one lady a long time ago, and she was actually she worked with children in nursery, and I was like, okay. Which nursery is that? Because I won't be bringing any kids there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's some very, very strange people out there.
Do they give the real names for the most part?
She had a very interesting name, something like we can't put over the air, but...
but it's not a fake name?
I don't believe it was a fake name, no, but it was...
Do most people
creative?
Get on the website
very creative.
really looking to find somebody, or just for games?
No. This was her and her husband playing games. So it was funny. As soon as you say anything about private investigation, security, anything, that's recruitment.
See, to me, that would be tough, knowing the person who is playing games and then the person who is really looking for somebody, because you can tell by voice inflection whether somebody is kidding around with you, and you don't have that.
That's the danger. That's the danger. You don't know.
Well, we're going to have to go. And it's been a really good show. Tomorrow we're going to have Allison Butler and Landon Brooks and the Gadsden State Community College Moisture Therapy. Massage therapy. And it's a really neat thing. I do this all the time. And I tell everybody to make your lips look thicker. And I learned this from Allison and Landon.
And how often
you can. Just all time through the day. Just pinch your lips right here. But we had a great show, and so glad